Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
PD Beats here from Popternative, speaking to Edwin Lee Gibson about FX's The Bear on Hulu. Welcome to the show. It's so good to see you.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me. Popternative.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely. No, it's this, I have to tell you, I love this show so much, and I'm so excited to chat. We have so many questions. I mean, the reception has just been amazing. Has it officially now hit you that it's finally out and people are able to see the show?
It's great. It's also really great when you're sitting someplace and you hear people at another table talking about the show.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's
But they don't
happened.
know. But they don't realize that that I'm there. Why would they?
She just walk by and just be like, "Do you have the
No.
mug? Do you have the mug too?" Like, thanks for watching our show. And you just
Yeah.
walk away. They're like, wait.
Yeah, that would be funny, right?
It would. I find it interesting though because I love getting an inside glimpse of like a kitchen and restaurants and everything, and any TV show or movie that comes out that has to do with a restaurant or food, I always watch them. There's not that many of them, and when they kind of hit, they hit really hard and everyone watches them. What's that like being part of the show with that kind of landscape I brought up where there's not that many of them, but this one, do you see The Bear as a show that can lead to more shows showing the culinary restaurant kind of world? Have you ever thought about that at all?
Oh, I haven't thought about that. I think what comes to my mind with The Bear is that the replication would be the type of show that has this love and this cohesion attached to it. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily about the culinary world, but any world that the story is told in, that it has this type of a beauty.
Yeah.
So I would think about that more than I would just the culinary aspect of it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it does make sense. Absolutely. Did you notice instantly how quick paced the show was? Like when you're reading the scripts and you're kind of going through it, because some episodes it's just kind of in the fire, and you're throwing it in the fire, right? Carmy's kind of going around. It's really fast paced at times.
No, if I'm being honest, I did not.
Okay.
When I saw the pilot, before we went back to work on the rest of the series, I was shocked.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, I didn't see this coming at all. This is great." It was actually surprising to me in a really, really great way, and I couldn't wait to get back on set and get back to work.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, but then you have to kind of just resist doing anything and just kind of let Christopher and Joanna do what they do, and just kind of understand the direction. Mm-hmm. But seeing that pilot was it was shock to me.
Oh, absolutely.
I didn't see it I didn't see it on the page. And I think that's a great thing for an actor to really not, to think they know one thing, but the creators are doing something else, and you can create it a different way.
The audience member, I can't speak for all the audience members. For me, I'm sweating watching this though. I'm just kind of exhausted 20 minutes in. You know what I mean?
So were we, because such a small space that we're in, and all the fires are real, and the cooking is real. Mm-hmm. So you can imagine how hot it was. Everything that you're feeling, mm-hmm. It was there.
Yep.
Yeah, you're in there with us.
And all 8 episodes are streaming now on Hulu, so people could watch them. All the episodes are great, but there's an episode called Episode 7 that I'd like to talk to you about. If that's so, there's got to be some stories or things or what can you tell me about filming Episode 7? I'm curious about that.
Yeah. Well, reception-wise, I can say that some people still think that there was some type of trick involved.
Yeah.
I've heard, but it wasn't. One complete shot. We rehearsed it one day and then we shot it the next day, so everyone knew what was coming. And just doing that in one take, I'm a theater cat, so that's where I come from. So that was great.
Mhm.
But even having that one take with one camera, it was really, really exciting. We had a mishap or two, and then we had to reset and go back to the top.
Yeah.
But everybody was there. Everyone was keyed in, and everyone's concentration level was there. And I think you can see that, especially in what young Jeremy is doing in IO, and even when you're not there so much, like Lionel's Marcus
Yeah.
has got to come in and just kind of tell the story that you didn't see.
Yes.
So that was a great thing about it, that you got to see. And I think that's kind of what happens with the show, is that it's always something happening that you don't see, that just kind of plops in.
Oh, there were so many things happening in that episode. It was one of those things where all the orders are coming in, and then a donut's on the floor, and then there's people bumping into people. I mean, it was like, and it was interesting because it was like, it wasn't hard to keep up with, if you know what I mean by that, because you're so dialed in and you want, like, your setup, I feel like, as an audience member for that episode, were like, it's like, okay, you have to pay attention right now. They have all these orders. The pre-orders weren't like turned off. You know what I mean? Like, you have to be dialed in. Do you know what I mean by that a little bit?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, and even us as actors, we had to be dialed in, because that's how you support each other in that episode. And I think people might not realize it's one episode or one shot.
Mm-hmm.
When they see it, and then they realize it towards the end, they're like, "Whoa, I got to go back and look at this again."
Yeah.
No, it really was this, and I think maybe rewatching it might add a bit more stress to the audience.
Yeah. No,
Even more so than watching it the first time.
I mean, I have a friend who he's been working, so he's finally like watching the episodes now, and he's like, I'm 4 episodes in, and I'm like exhausted. I'm like, wait, just wait, right?
Yeah, really, just wait.
That's so crazy. When was that, like, episode 7, like, filming wise, like timing wise? Was that like at the end? Was it in order, a lot of the things you shot? Or was that in the beginning? Like, what, like that sequence where you did the rehearsal, was that at the end? Because that's episode 7. It's at the end of, it's one of the last episodes. But like, when did you shoot that specifically? Was it early on or later?
I think that what you saw was one of the only moments that we shot. Just that we weren't working on any other episode at the time. Okay. We were just working on that episode.
And we're going to be back for season 2. Congrats to you and the cast. It's so amazing.
Yeah. That was pretty quick. It's really, really nice, and very kind of everyone to be receiving it the way they are. Is
the mindset just now kind of going with the flow and just kind of like just waiting it out, and basically like there's not much more, right? I mean, I'm sure there's excitement to kind of get back in there, right? We know the episodes, the restaurants, the bear, like, but like, it's very quick, like you said, right? Like, it's already in season 2. Like, some people haven't seen that season 1 yet. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, no, the job, at least for me, is to just keep getting better with this character, and not get so far ahead of whatever I think is going to happen. I don't like to know so much of that, but to just prepare for the next season by just exploring this character a bit more, so that whatever's asked of me as the actor, I can, I can get that. But but just not waiting around. I mean, it's exciting. I wish it was starting next week.
Yeah, I know. I was about to say, I bet. And how many times, because there's a really funny scene where, you're reading the restaurant review and you're kind of not cluing in that there's a lot happening in the kitchen. You're just reading this long review, right?
Yeah.
How many takes was that specifically? Like, how long was that whole scene?
Well, it's what you saw. The thing about that reading was that my choice was because the font was so small. The font was so small, and I was like, but then I didn't want to say anything to anybody because I didn't want them to change it out because then it might not look as authentic as it needed to.
Oh,
So then you just say, okay, Ibrahim is going through this kind of he's always learning, as you see in that episode with against Marcus, that banter. So like even then, I just wanted him. It's almost like his own self tutorial, and everybody's letting him do it because it may be something that he always does. But at this point, it's not the time. It's not the thing. We don't want to hear about this. And Sydney, of course, is like saying, Ibra, enough.
Wow.
And he's very excited about it.
If that's not scoop, I don't know what is. Like the font was so small. That was that is.
But if I had said something, I think they would have been very kind enough to
for sure.
Change it, but I didn't want to change it. I was like, at the last minute, I was like, well, you know what? Don't say anything.
Production value, maybe, kind of. I don't know. Like, just kind of adds to the story. Adds to the.
Well, that's what you do. Yeah, I mean, as an actor, you use what's there. You use what you have, and it's there for a reason. So.
Oh, absolutely. No, absolutely. Edwin, thank you so much for coming on Pop Alternative. It was so great chatting with you.
Sure. You gotta get yourself.
Oh, that is so cool.
I have two.
And I have none, so that's great. But listen, thank you so much for coming on the show. FX is The Bear is on Hulu. People can stream it now, all 8 episodes. Season 2 is going to be coming eventually. Is there an Instagram account people can follow you at to keep up to date with everything? Are you on Instagram, Edwin?
Edwin Lee Gibson. It's just my full name. I'm Edwin Lee Gibson. I pop up there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot too because people are watching it, so there's a lot of tags.
Yeah. I was gonna try to do something really, really clever with Pop Alternative up there, but it didn't work, so I had to stop myself.
No, no problem. Well, this has been Pop Alternative. YouTube.com/Pop Alternative for previous episodes. Till next time, this is Edwin Lee Gibson, who you can catch in FX The Bear on Hulu, and Petey Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Pop Alternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Pop Alternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Pop Alternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.